The automatic doors slid open with a familiar whoosh as Muhammad Ali stepped into Hanson's supermarket on a quiet Tuesday morning in Minneapolis. Dressed in his signature black suit with a crisp white shirt, the heavyweight champion was in town for a speaking engagement and had decided to pick up some groceries. His presence immediately caused a stir among the few shoppers in the early afternoon crowd. As he walked past the produce section, Ali noticed her first. Her name tag read Patricia Davis, but it was her red-rimmed eyes and shaking hands that caught his attention. The young black woman, barely 22, was scanning items with mechanical precision, while tears streaked down her cheeks. She tried to hide her face when she noticed people looking. $13.47, she whispered to the customer in front of Ali, her voice cracking. The elderly man paid, collected his bags, and left without a word. When Ali stepped forward with his cart, Patricia's eyes widened in recognition. "Oh my goodness, Mr. Ali," she stammered, quickly wiping her face with her sleeve. "I'm so sorry. I'll get you checked out right away." Ali looked directly into her eyes, his famous charisma momentarily replaced by genuine concern. "Sister, what has this world done to make you cry?" he asked gently. "Click here to see how this unexpected encounter changed everything." Patricia hesitated, her training telling her to maintain professional distance, but something in Ali's eyes, a warmth she recognized from watching him on television, made her defenses crumble. "My baby," she finally whispered. "My little James. He's 3 years old and he's in the hospital. They say he needs heart surgery." Her voice broke completely. "The insurance won't cover it all. The hospital's threatening to discharge him tomorrow if we can't pay. I've been working double shifts, but it's not enough." Ali listened intently as he helped her scan his groceries: milk, bread, fresh fruit and vegetables. "How much do you need?" he asked simply. $12,000, she said, looking down at her hands. "Might as well be 12 million for me." What happened next would become legendary in Minneapolis. Ali turned to the growing line of customers behind him. "Folks, did you hear that?" he announced, his famous voice booming through the store aisles. "This beautiful sister here, Patricia, has a child who needs heart surgery. The hospital wants $12,000. Now, I'm Muhammad Ali, and I'm going to throw the first punch in this fight." He pulled out his wallet and placed a $50 bill on the counter. "I'm buying not just groceries today. I'm buying a chance for little James to live and for his mama to smile again. Who's with me?" The store fell silent, then erupted into murmurs. Some customers shifted uncomfortably, while others reached for their wallets. Ali continued his rallying cry. "We send kids to dance classes, to summer camps, spend money on movie tickets and new cars. But today, we have a chance to send someone's child back home, healthy. This isn't charity. This is what champions do. We fight for each other." Tears streaming down her face, Patricia watched in disbelief as the miracle unfolded. An elderly woman behind Ali placed a crumpled $10 bill on the counter. "My husband passed last month. This was going to be for flowers at his grave, but he'd want this more." A businessman in a suit added a $100 bill. "I was late for a meeting anyway. Some things are more important." Children emptied their piggy banks. A teenager donated his graduation gift money. Word spread through the store like wildfire. The store manager, David Hanson, was called to the front. When he understood the situation, he announced over the PA system, "Attention shoppers, we're having a special event at Register 3. Muhammad Ali is here, and we're raising money for young James Davis's heart surgery." Within 30 minutes, every register had a donation box. Customers who had just paid were circling back through the store to contribute. The produce manager donated the day's profits from their organic section. The deli counter offered free sandwiches to anyone who brought in donations from neighboring businesses. Ali worked the crowd like only he could. With each donation, he offered a high five, a hug, or an autograph. He moved through the aisles, talking to shoppers personally. We're all connected in this web of humanity. Your kindness today travels further than any punch I've ever thrown. By closing time, the store had collected $15,200, enough to cover the surgery and post-operative care. Patricia called the hospital immediately. When she reached pediatric cardiology, she couldn't speak through her sobs. The nurse who answered heard Ali's distinctive voice in the background. Tell them the people's champion is sending some backup. Tell them James has an army behind him now. 3 months later, the Muhammad Ali Pediatric Heart Fund was officially established. What started as a spontaneous act in a Minneapolis supermarket had grown into a nationwide initiative. Ali returned to Hanson's supermarket for the grand opening of their remodeled store, now featuring a mural of that fateful day, painted by local artist Marcus Williams, who had been in line that day with his own 50-cent contribution. Patricia Davis stood at the podium, holding a healthy, giggling James in her arms. Her voice was strong now, confidence radiating from her smile. Mr. Ali taught us something that day. He showed us that greatness isn't measured by the heavyweight belts you win, but by the hearts you touch and the burdens you lighten. Ali, sitting in the front row, nodded with that familiar grin. His Parkinson's was just beginning to show in small tremors, but his spirit remained indomitable. When called to speak, he rose deliberately. "You know what the real miracle was that day?" he asked, his voice carrying to every corner of the room. "It wasn't the money we raised. It was watching strangers become family. It was seeing that when one person decides to fight for someone else, it gives everyone permission to be heroes." The audience erupted in applause. David Hanson stepped forward with an oversized check. The Muhammad Ali Heart Fund, $15,200, was just the beginning. I'm proud to announce that Hanson's supermarket chain will donate 50 cents from every grocery bag sold to this fund. It's now grown to $123,000. But the most powerful moment came when Patricia approached the microphone one final time. "James is here today because strangers chose to care. Now I choose to honor that gift by paying it forward. I'm starting nursing school next month. Every life I save will be my way of saying thank you to everyone who gave that day." As the ceremony concluded, children lined up for Ali to sign autographs. He took his time with each one, asking their names, their dreams, their favorite subjects. In school, when a freckled boy named Tommy stepped forward, Ali asked, "You gonna be a fighter like me?" "No, sir," Tommy replied confidently. "I'm gonna be a doctor like the ones who helped James." Ali's eyes twinkled with pride. "Now, that's what I call a knockout." Years later, that supermarket became a pilgrimage site. A bronze plaque near the entrance reads, "On this spot, April 10th, 1973, Muhammad Ali showed us that true championship begins when the last bell rings and the real fight, the fight for each other, begins." The fund continued to grow, eventually helping hundreds of children receive life-saving surgeries. Patricia earned her nursing degree and returned to work at the same hospital where James had his surgery. She named the pediatric wing Ali's Corner and often told patients the story of how a chance encounter with a champion changed everything. The final scene shows an elderly Ali and Patricia, 15 years later, touring the pediatric ward. Ali, though frail, still moves with purpose. As they pass by room after room of recovering children, Patricia squeezes his hand. "You know," she whispers, "that day in the supermarket, you weren't shopping for groceries, you were shopping for miracles." Ali's final words echo as the camera pans to a wall covered with photos and thank you letters from families. The greatest gift life can give you is the chance to be somebody's miracle. We all have that power. We just need to use it. Subscribe now for more incredible stories of compassion that changed the world. Share in the comments. How can you be someone's miracle today? Let's continue Ali's legacy of love and action.